needles in a haystack, but when you get it, you can literally close a case. Christy Tedesco joins us from the county's Forensic Science Center with one example, a special series, Witness from the Grave. Christy?
Roger, the case you're talking about is the strangulation death of Cletus Schumacher. Now, eyewitnesses in that case led police to a suspect, but it was the evidence found at the scene that really slammed the file shut in that case, solving the murder of a well-liked, mentally challenged man. But we want to warn you, his case may be difficult to watch.
He had such a great sense of humor for the problems he had. Simplest things just made him so happy. A cup of coffee, talking to people. He loved to talk to people.
Friendly and harmless, not to mention helpful. That's how people describe the Cletus Schumacher they knew. Each and every day for 5 years, he'd show up at the Herring House with appetite in tow until July 10th, 1996.
I had stayed home and I was having a new garage floor put in. And normally if something like that was going on around here, Cletus would be here right in the middle of it helping us. But this particular day he didn't show up.
I just knew something had to be wrong.
The Herrings went to Cletus' apartment and found this, his lifeless body covered under a bedsheet in the center of his living room. And they noticed things were missing, like Cletus' television set and microwave oven. Investigators took pictures and literally combed the carpet for evidence.
We released the fact that the television was missing, and we did not release the second item, which was the microwave. When we got a phone call that some individuals in a close-by construction site had purchased a TV and a microwave the same day of the killing, then we knew we had excellent information, and that's where the investigation pretty much started as far as identifying the suspect.
Immediately, this computer sketch was developed, an image that triggered reaction within the police department. Turns out another detective recognized the face. It looked like a man who'd been in jail before. John Taylor was brought in for a lineup and identified. Meanwhile, back at the scene, investigators found something, a long black hair in the carpet. They took it to the police criminalistics laboratory and compared it with a hair from Taylor's own head. It was a match. With the physical evidence, the prosecution considered its case solid. The jury was seated and the trial was scheduled to begin, but then all of a sudden, John Taylor buckled. Out of nowhere, he pleaded guilty to the murder. Some say the pressure was just too much for him.
We have a lot of cases that are based on only eyewitness testimony. But the physical evidence, the lab work that's done at the Forensic Center, that makes the case a lot of times.
Based on the fact that Cletus' body was covered, investigators say John Taylor may not have meant to kill. They say covering a body is a sign of remorse. Still, those closest to Cletus don't find comfort in that. They hold nothing but contempt for his killer.
Worthless. Poor excuse of a human being. I mean, real sad.
I see no reason why he should even be around. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
John Taylor pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. He'll spend a minimum 21 years behind bars. In the meantime, investigators and forensic scientists continue their work here. They will continue to investigate and solve the unsolved and put killers behind bars. Roger.
Thank you, Christy. An apology today from the girl who gave birth at her senior prom and dumped the baby in a trash can.
Yes, I'd like to tell you that I'm really, truly sorry for what I've done. Okay?
After that statement, the presiding judge sentenced Melissa Drexler to 15 years in prison.